Livermore PD. Thank you, Martha. Jeramy Young joined the Livermore Police Department in 2014 as a captain and was appointed Chief of Police in 2020. And during his time in Livermore, he has been responsible for many notable accomplishments, which, Chief, I'm hoping you're going to be sharing with the group this morning, so I won't go down this list here. Very impressive. Prior to joining the Livermore PD, the chief held numerous law enforcement roles during his 12 years with the Modesto Police Department, working up from officer to acting captain. Before that, he served as an officer with the city of Seaside and a sergeant with CSU Monterey Bay. Young has a passion for community policing, transparency in law enforcement, and is committed to prioritizing diversity on the Livermore Police Force. Yay. Young is married, has 3 children, and enjoys golfing and camping with his family. And with that, let's welcome Chief Jeramy Young.
Thank you. Well, thanks for that introduction, and thanks for the invite today. I always love talking with the community, and I can't wait till we can do it in person. So, but I wanted to talk about a few things that we have going on here, and first, just talk about the community events that we've had in the last couple weeks. I was honored to be asked to judge a chili cook-off. I know the mayor and some other people were on that important task, and that was a great event the Saturday before. And then this last Saturday, I got to judge the Halloween costume contest for all the kids at Stockman's Park, and so that was a great event too, to see all the kids out in excellent weather in the downtown in that beautiful park, and spend some time with the community. So that was very nice that some of those things are starting to come back. I did want to talk about an initiative that the officers are doing in November. It's called No Shave November, and they are raising money for the holiday period to take some of the children in our community who are in need and shop for gifts during the holiday period. So an officer will pair with a family and then take them shopping. So that's always something we look forward to. And so what the officers do is they have to pay a fee to grow some facial hair during November. And so if you see officers out there that look like they lost their razor, it's because they're raising money for Shop with the Cop for the community. And they're really looking forward to that. And it's a great cause. So if you see that, that's why. Also, I wanted to talk about a couple things that are going on in the department that I'm really excited about. I've really made it a goal to kind of network with the community, try to increase our communication, our input from the community. And so 2 things that we're doing to kind of help that, along with some others, but 2 that I want to talk about today are the citizens group that came out of the Equity and Inclusion Committee at the city level, and that's the Police Chiefs Advisory Group. So that's a group that was working in the Equity and Inclusion Committee, but now they're going to be with us permanently to help us work through some of the important issues in the community. And we had our first meeting in November, so that was great. Look forward to working with them and getting them more involved in the police department, kind of talking about how we do things here, and then seeing if there's some ways we can improve and getting some community feedback on a regular basis. So we're definitely looking forward to that. We might take December off because it's really hard to get meetings in December, but otherwise we're going to meet on a monthly basis, and definitely looking forward to that. The other group that we formed was the Livermore Police Department Faith-Based Leadership Group. And so that's faith-based leaders throughout our community from every walk of life. And my goal there is to kind of network with those leaders to get better communication with all parts of our community and try to increase our communication with some of the parts of the community that we always haven't done a great job, maybe not on Facebook, not on social media. I think we do a great job there, but we could do better. So that's going to be a group that meets monthly as well. And our whole goal will be to listen to the group and find out how we can communicate better and how we can serve the community better. All of these leaders are in place to serve the community and make Livermore a better place. And so it's a great relationship for us to have with them. And so that's another really exciting project we're working on, and we're off to a great start with that. And kind of going along with that, we have public relations officers or public information officers that do the job to post things on Facebook, do press releases, interact on Nextdoor, and share important information with the community. And right now, we have been doing it with officers, but it's an extra duty on top of everything they're already doing. And I feel like communication is so important right now that it can't be something that somebody's asked to do in addition to their normal duties. And so we were able to find a position within the police department to make them focus completely on public information and outreach to the community. And so we're very close, hopefully, to being able to hire that position. We have somebody in background. And so I'm very excited about that position. I think that's really going to help us focus on communication and really take the game to the next level, even though we have a great communications here at the police department. This will just be an added benefit and help us really network much better. So I'm very excited about that. One of the other things I want to talk about is recruitment. Law enforcement is really having a struggle finding police officers and keeping police officers. And so we've made that a priority. We've been working very hard to try to get our staffing levels up to authorized strength, which is 95 officers right now, from me all the way down the ranks. And in this fiscal year, or this calendar year, we've hired 12 police officers so far, and we have a few more hopefully we can get hired this year, because we've had a lot of retirements, and that was just due to the time when we hired the officers 30 years ago or so. So we had a big wave there, and so we've had quite a few retirements. In Livermore, we're fortunate because we don't have a lot of officers who lateral away or go to another community to work. That's very, very rare here, which is unusual in the profession. So we're proud of that. That has a lot to do with the community support and the type of community we are here in Livermore. So I'm thankful for that. But as far as an update goes, we've hired 12 so far. We have 7 officers who are in training. They have to go through, depending on whether they start from the very beginning, they'll have to go to the police academy and then a field training program. And usually that whole process takes about 18 months before they're able to work on their own. Sometimes we'll be able to hire laterals. And in that case, they have to go through about 4 months of training here with our officers before they can work on their own. And so we have 7 officers in the training process. So we definitely have people in the pipeline that will be coming out to help. And then we have 3 vacant positions. There was times where we had 7 or 8 vacant positions, and we've got it down to 3 right now. So we're making a lot of progress. Human resources here at the police department or at City Hall has really helped speed the process between when an officer applies and when we can get them interviewed and backgrounded and actually working on the street. So they've done great work with us to try to speed the process so we can get fully staffed, because that's important to me. I know it's important to the community, and we're making a lot of progress filling that need. So that's a bit of good news. And so I've gone on for quite a while here, and I thought maybe I'll open it up at this point to some questions.
Somebody has their hand up. Oh, I think Sharon's rolled off. Okay, so John Marchand had his hand up first. John?
Chief, good morning. Thank you for being here. Certainly appreciate that. I spend way too much time on Nextdoor, and I have to congratulate LPD for their presence on Nextdoor. You do a great job, and the community always comes out and really appreciates what you do. The double-edged sword with social media is there's a greater awareness, So people have this perception that crime is just spinning out of control and that it's just rampant in Livermore. Um, an interesting fact is that actually the auto theft rate in Pleasanton is 4 times that of Livermore. But what are the facts behind the crime rate? I said we keep seeing on next door that it's spinning out of control. What really are the facts? And thank you, Chief, for what you do.
Thank you, and it's nice to see a familiar face. Well, the crime rates, we track them carefully. I like to compare our crime rates to the 5-year average because, there's a lot of things that change. We've been in COVID, for quite some time, and that has an impact on crime. But also, there are so many factors that influence crime or have an impact on crime that it's hard to measure one thing that you do. I'm happy to say in Livermore, we haven't had a huge increase in crime. We've seen some ups and downs, but generally we're about where we were on our 5-year average. So I'm not super concerned. I see a comment asking about armed robberies, and we have had a few armed robberies, but fortunately in Livermore, we have a very low number of armed robberies. So if we have 1 or 2, it looks like a huge percentage increase, but it's not a crime wave. So we're definitely keeping an eye on things. In Livermore, we generally have a low violent crime rate compared to other communities. But we do have a fair amount of property crime, vehicle burglaries, thefts from vehicles like catalytic converters, things like that. And we found a lot of times, many of those crimes are committed by people who are coming off 580 from other areas or off 84 from further over in the Bay. And so we've really focused on that and tried to be proactive. And I think our officers are out there doing a great job to try to combat that property crime. But we haven't seen a crime rate wave. There's not a huge increase in Livermore. It's a safe community, and our officers are out there every day making sure that everyone's safe.
Thank you very much.
Bob Woerner has his hand up. Bob?
Thank you, Chief, for your comments. Could you elaborate a little bit more of your great success in recruitment? What is it that you would say are the key factors that about Livermore that the officers want to come here for?
Well, you want me to start with the mayor or?
No, the previous mayor at least.
Yeah. Well, really, that I joke about it, but it really is. It has to do with the leadership in our community, and it goes back a long ways because it takes a while to build a reputation. And so we've been fortunate in Livermore to have just a long history of great leadership and support for law enforcement from our elected officials to our community members. And when I started, I don't really want to talk about my age, but I'll say about 30 years ago or so. It was a lot about money. Officers would go somewhere to make a wage, and then if there was another community that paid more, we saw a lot of laterals going to higher wages, and that was really the driving force for recruitment. But recently, I would say in the last 5 years or so, we've seen that change, and officers are looking for a community that's supportive. They want to work in a community that values them, that supports them. And if they're going to risk their life for a community, they want to know that the community appreciates that. And our officers are definitely willing to do that. But I think the biggest driving force now in recruitment for us is our community and the support that our officers feel. Other candidates who are working in other parts of California see it as well. And now we're hiring people from San Francisco, from Stockton, from other areas who live in Livermore, but work and commute a ways away for originally for a higher wage. But now they want to work in the community where they live or closer to where they live, and in a community that enjoys a great deal of community support. So I want to thank the community for helping and recruiting. You might not realize you're doing it, but you're definitely doing it by supporting us.
Good. Thank you.
Hey, Michael Roberts.
Hi, good morning, Chief. Thank you very much for presenting to us today. I'm very curious about the two committees that you have started. I believe one of them had something to do with equity and the other one was faith-based. And I'm wondering, do they reach out to the local nonprofits such as mine, Sunflower Hill, that works with special needs and adults with an IDD? Is there a way that we could reach out and engage with those two committees, or would either of them be one that would work with us?
Well, I'm sure they would. These two committees are just two committees that I work with, but really we value every partnership. And so it doesn't mean that we wouldn't be thrilled to work with any nonprofit to better serve our community. So these are two ways we've tried to expand our outreach and our work in the community, but it's not limited to that. And so if you can send me an email or a phone call or something, we can network, we can find out how we can partner, and maybe we do partner with some of these groups. But even if we don't, we're happy to partner with you or anyone else who's willing to help us out in our mission.
And Chief, maybe you can put your email or your contact info in the chat. Everyone can pick it up and then they'll know how to find you.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And Ann White, School Board.
There I am. I thought I was unmuted. I just want to let everyone know that we welcome the policemen that are on our campuses. They're called school resource officers. And in all the to-do of recent, some districts have made their police on campus not welcome, and we welcome them on all campuses. I understand they were in forceful presence on the first day of school, meeting and greeting our students as they returned. We have, it turns out that the administrators and the police on campus have different authority and different responsibilities with respect to underage people who they deal with. And our administrators and the SROs work together so that their authorities, overlapping and mutually exclusive in some cases, work for the betterment of the school and the student who might need some counseling. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a great point. We value our relationship with the school district, and I love having officers at the schools. They're ambassadors for us and for our community, and one of their big jobs is to build trust with the youth.
Yes.
And we have without getting into great detail, we had a female report a crime that she said the only reason she reported is because she trusted the officer and she knew the officer from the school. And that's just one story, but if it's just one, I think that's enough. And that's enough to show that it's working. And we value that partnership so much. I'm thankful for it, and we hope to do more in the future in that way.
Chief, could you tell us a little bit about the real-time crime center that you helped get set up? What is it? What does it do? How's it working?
It's a real-time awareness center. So we set it up as part of the city council's goal for emergency preparedness. And so we have cameras at various locations in the city, and we're trying to add some more because when a disaster happens, we want to make sure that we're well prepared. And that means getting a quick overview of the conditions in the city. And if we have cameras around and somebody in a center with that information, they can very quickly assess damage, conditions in the city. And it leverages our current resources because we don't have enough people to send out to all these locations. And and we also have technology that kind of helps. Well, like I said, we have a lot of people who come off the freeway and commit crimes in town. And we have technology that kind of helps us in case there's a crime or something, we can follow up on it. So we have we're building an area in the police department where a crime analyst can work. And this way, when they hear a call happening, let's say there was a robbery at a store or something in town, the crime analyst can start working immediately, even before officers arrive, to try to start gathering information. So if there's cameras in that area, whether they be neighborhood cameras, or if somebody has registered a camera, a community member, they can start digging through that information, have it available to officers as they're responding to the call. And if we get a vehicle description, they can start putting that out. And so it makes our officers safer when they're responding to calls. And it has proven valuable in solving crimes and stopping some of these crimes. So it's a huge advantage to us. It makes our community safer. And I'm happy to say we're very close to actually having the actual room constructed to where we'll be more efficient. At this point, we have a crime analyst in there 4 days a week, and she's done an excellent job. We have other communities, surrounding communities, that will call her in the evenings when our call volume's high and they need help. And she's been able to help them on a lot of cases that are very important. So I can't wait to get this fully completed, but so far we've been using her in that capacity for about 18 months, almost 2 years, and we have a lot of success stories.
Thank you, Chief. You mentioned something under that, folks registering their cameras. When you get your public information person online, I invite you to maybe connect more with at least the business community and others, I'm sure it's applicable, as to how we all can partner with law enforcement so that we can be more proactive. I don't know if it's common knowledge that folks can register their cameras with the PD. Some of our businesses probably do have cameras, and I don't know if they are registered with the PD or not. And if they do, then they all should do that. But other initiatives that you may have where we all can partner with you and be more proactive in keeping our community and our businesses safe. So
Yeah.
I'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's a good point. And just a note real quick, on our website, there's a link where you can register cameras. So on our city website, and also a map where you can see what's going on in the community, police incidents. We keep it updated, so you can follow that link on our website.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for the chief?
Yeah, I wanted to just emphasize the thing on the cameras. There are two aspects of it. One is registering the camera, but if you have your own security camera at home, say Ring or something else, there's also the app that the police department has that when you share your image with, say, your neighbors, it goes into the police department. So there are two things here to be aware of. So I not only for everybody who has a camera to register it, but the other thing to do is to get the app on, know how to use the app on your camera to share images, and that goes into the police department. Now, it's not necessarily a real-time viewing of that, but Chief Young, you could say a little bit more about what happens there.
Yeah, it's the Neighbors app that you can put on your phone. It doesn't have to be a specific brand of camera, but you can use the Neighbors app, which the police department is on. And this way, if you see something, somebody comes to your door that's suspicious, or there was a crime that happened in your neighborhood or area that you captured on video, you can share that with the police department, and then we can help collect all that video, because there might be a dozen neighbors then that have that. And so it's a good way for us to communicate and a good way for us to collect video that's going to be helpful for us to solve a crime.
It's sort of a high-tech version of the Neighborhood Watch.
Yes. Yeah, it's called the Neighbors app. And like I said, you don't have to have a specific brand of camera to use the Neighbors app. It'll work with any video. So that is something we'll network a little bit more with our public information to make sure we push it out. We've done it before, but it's something we like to do pretty often to make sure people are aware of that resource.
Chief, do you have any programs in particular that kind of focus on business settings, like, where someone comes out and maybe makes some recommendations or talks to your employees, or, all of the above?
Yes, we have a business watch program that's kind of like Neighborhood Watch, and so we can do classes or programs at businesses or groups of businesses that want us to come out and present some information. Taylor Burris is one of our officers. She heads that up. But you can just email the police department or call the police department, and we'll put you in contact with the people who are running the program. But we hope to expand that in the very near future as well, and really push that information out and network with our business community, because that's an important partnership.
I agree, because our businesses are also eyes on the ground, and making sure we have sufficient lighting and parking lots. Our employees are safe, our customers and our clients are safe when they're moving about in our areas. What other kind of technology can we implement to keep our areas safe? And I think if we have sort of a collective program or some kind of standard, it will be helpful to some of our businesses, especially our small and medium-sized businesses, regardless of location. I think more can be done in the downtown. Our office happens to be located in the downtown district. I'd like to see every single commercial building have some kind of a camera system. I'm a big fan of that. Things happen late at night here. When we arrive the next morning, it's like, what happened here? But then we also have our outlying business areas that are a little more isolated. So we want to make sure that those areas remain safe as well. And we know that you can never, ever have enough boots on the ground, but with the technology, that will help you. So anyway, the chamber can help you deploy some of that information or technology. Please let us know.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Ann, did you have another question?
No,
Okay.
Your hand's still up, Ann.
I'm still up.
Are there any other questions?
I think we're probably there's more here, and we hope that you'll come back, or maybe some of your folks that specialize in certain things. We would love to also invite them to talk to us about some specific areas that they specialize in as well. So the partnership with our PD and with any of our government partners, I think, is critical, so that we can be proactive and work together, because government is designed and its purpose is to protect and serve and help and assist. But if we don't have that communication, then that's when things break down and things go sideways. So does anybody else have anything else for the chief this morning? And Chief, you're going to put your info in the chat there?
I will. And
Okay.
I just, before I go, I wanted to thank you for the invitation. I welcome all invitations. So if you want me to come talk to your group or at your business, I would love to do it. And so I look forward to getting our PIO on board and future conversations too. So thank you very much. I'll put my information in the chat.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, Peter, do you have your hand up?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Well, okay.
Okay, well, I thought I'd wait till the end here. I've been a member of this committee for 15 years, and I've lived in the Valley since 1982. I just thought I'd share with you that come December 31st, I am retiring from the practice of law. I've been an attorney since 1976, and since 1982, it's been in this valley. So I've watched both Livermore and Pleasanton evolve a lot over that period. I just want to say that this committee is a really quality community institution. It brings together, the people from Zone 7 and the school board and the city and all these different quality nonprofits like LVPAC and just the whole group. That initial report where all these different people report in has been just a wonderful way for me to keep up with what's going on in Livermore, and I think it leads to better decisions. The whole struggle that you had over your downtown, and to see that coming to fruition, I guess I'm just kind of proud of the community of Livermore for how it's done and the role that the chamber plays in bringing all these people together. So I probably won't be renewing my chamber membership. I don't know what month it wears out, but I will miss this committee. It's truly in the Livermore Chamber, it's truly a quality community institution.
Well, thank you for those comments, Peter. Well, we're going to miss you. I've known you since back in my days with the county.
That's right.
And so, yeah, you will be missed, but we have one more meeting before the end of the year. So hopefully you'll be able to join us, and that's on December 1st.
Okay.
And that'll be Peter's last meeting with us, I guess, so he can make it. But appreciate that. It's always good to get feedback from our members. We've been a little bit distant being on Zoom, and all of you who have been paying attention, we've been bringing it for 20 some odd months, and we stay connected to all of you and we support all of you. But without the in-person, seeing you and hearing from you personally about, are we hitting our marks? How are we doing? Are we meeting expectations? And, hearing the comments via Zoom or an email is lovely. So we really appreciate that. So thank you for that.